Hello fellow YouTubers, I'm Cassandra Joy, and today I'm fangirling it out and doing a Harry Potter Q&A. You can't really see it, but I'm representing. Thank you, Myers. So, a few days ago, I asked you guys on Twitter to ask me any question you wanted to about Harry Potter. And you guys came up with some really cool questions. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm so excited to answer these. They're gonna be so much fun. If you guys didn't know before, you're gonna know now. I love the Harry Potter series. I devoured them, the entire series, in college. I mean, I was the kind of reader who skipped class in order to finish reading the books because I was just that dedicated. I'm not condoning that behavior. I'm not suggesting that you do that you follow in my footsteps and skip class to finish reading a book. I'm just saying that I did it and I may or may not regret it. I have your questions on my phone. Let me see what you guys asked. One Alex Cam asks, think back to the first time you saw a Harry Potter movie. When was that? Which movie was it? And who did you see it with? Okay, confession time. It's the first question and I'm already confessing something to you. So when I was growing up, my parents didn't know anything about Harry Potter except from what they had heard from other people. And what they had heard from other people was that it was something to do with dark magic, evil, satanic magic. It was not good reading material, especially for children. As a result, I was not allowed to read or watch anything Harry Potter. So I remember this. It's funny that I remember this. I don't know how old I was, but I was old enough to be left alone. I remember my parents were not at home. I was flipping through the channels and I saw Harry Potter. Now, I was old enough to recognize a Harry Potter movie. And so, because my parents weren't home and there's no way that they would ever find out, I watched at least half of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. As I was watching it, I was waiting for something evil to happen, you know, something demonic, something so bad that I knew I shouldn't be watching it. And nothing happened. It was actually kind of cool. It was magic and adventure and good moral lessons. And I was very confused as to why my parents weren't letting me watch this. But I couldn't ask them that question without outing myself and admitting that I had disobeyed and watched it anyway. But to answer your question, I'm not sure how old I was, 13, something like that. I watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and I watched it alone. Too Perfect For You Too asks, what house would you be in? Well, if you guys don't know what Pottermore is, it's a website created by J.K. Rowling and her people to allow you to be part of the Harry Potter universe. On Pottermore, you can get sorted into a house, you can have a Patronus, you can cast spells, you receive a wand from Ollivanders, and it's the coolest website. And I say this as a full-grown woman and fully admit to liking it. It's fun for all ages. You just gotta go look. I tried 3 times to get the house I wanted. I signed up with 3 different accounts. I'm not condoning this, I'm just saying that's what I did. Because I wanted Gryffindor in the worst way. I wasn't getting it. First, I got Ravenclaw. Twice. I was so frustrated after getting Ravenclaw for the second time. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm such a Gryffindor. This doesn't make sense. So I did it one more time. Third time, I got Slytherin. Now, I'm not bashing anybody who was sorted into the Slytherin house or who is a fan of the Slytherin house. I just know personally that is not the house for me. So once I saw that green banner in the background of the website, I'm like, no, I take it back. I will be Ravenclaw. I'm okay with it. I took a deep breath, I sucked it up, and I accepted my fate. I was a Ravenclaw. I'm kind of glad I was sorted into Ravenclaw because it kind of suits me. I never think of myself as someone who is intelligent. I just don't. When I think of intelligence, I think of academia. And when I think of academia, I think of grades and school. I was never good at school. I was good at things like music and art and English. Stuff that you don't really need when you grow up. The things you need when you grow up are math and science and history and all that stuff. The stuff I was terrible at. So when I think of intelligence, I think of all the things I was horrible at in school. So that alone made me think that I was not fit to be a Ravenclaw. But then I realized that Ravenclaw has a lot of other traits other than just intelligence. Members of the Ravenclaw house are characterized by their wit, learning, and wisdom. Now, the other characteristics I feel like may not necessarily define me, but they're things that I strive to get better at all the time. I strive to be wiser. I strive to learn everything I can about the things that I'm interested in. If I was in the Harry Potter world and I was sorted into Ravenclaw house, I feel like I might have been shocked, like I was in real life, of being accepted into such an intelligent house. I think I would have found my way. I think I would have felt like, you know what? I do fit after all. To answer your question in a very long-winded answer, I am sorted into Ravenclaw. At anime 199819555. Try to say that 10 times fast. Asks, if you could teach any subject at Hogwarts, what subject would you teach? Oh, that is a good question. I would love to teach Transfiguration, but realistically would not be my strong suit. If I was going by the skills that I actually have, I think my class would be something in art. I could just imagine my classroom being this artistic wall of splash of colors, and all the paintings and drawings were slightly alive. Kind of like the Hogwarts paintings. I feel like I would teach them how to infuse magic into their artwork and make it come alive. That would be a fun job. Hey, J.K. Rowling, where do I apply for that? She also asks, who is your favorite character and what's your favorite Hogwarts house? I think Hermione was always my favorite of the three. Hermione was kind of the level-headed one, and also she was the girl, so automatically I was rooting for her. I think my favorite character, I think it'd be Luna, because she is not afraid to be anybody but herself, and she's okay in her own skin. And that's something I've always struggled with, being okay in my own skin. And I really applaud and admire Luna for that. She's just fearless. My favorite Hogwarts house originally was Gryffindor, but now that I have been sorted into Ravenclaw, I feel like I kind of have to say Ravenclaw. I have to represent my house. At PST Funks, however you pronounce that, asks, is Voldemort the true hero in Harry Potter? Would Harry have become who he is if Voldemort didn't exist? That is the age-old question of, would we be the same person if those things that define us didn't happen? I think that at the core of ourselves, we are who we always will be. Those core traits, those core interests, those core parts of us never really change. However, I do think that there are experiences that help shape who we become. The core of who Harry is would still be the same, but I feel like the lessons he learned and the person he became would be a little different without those experiences. No, I do not think that Voldemort is the hero of the story. Not in any sense, not ever, no way, no how, no nada, sorry. I do think that it's not entirely Voldemort's fault. Being a child of a spell-cast loveless marriage, he was born without any love, and therefore I feel like his actions couldn't be changed. But I don't think that he's a hero in any sense. Tom Hiddleston said something that was really cool. A villain is a hero in his own head. Voldemort thinks he's the hero of the story. So no, I in no way think Voldemort is the hero of the story, but I do think he thinks he is the hero of the story. At Dabro Swamp asks, does Dobby kick butt or what? Correct answer, yes. At Angel Pine asks, why does Severus Snape have to die? I have mixed feelings about Severus Snape. Spoiler alert. Plug your ears now if you don't want to hear this. I hated him for so much of the book series that I had a really hard time switching my feelings at the end when Snape became good. I couldn't wrap my head around it fast enough to make my feelings catch up to the plot. As a fellow writer, I feel like it was necessary for Snape to die, but also feel for the people who didn't want him to. So that is my answer. I think it was necessary for Snape to die. I'm sorry. Jen from Facebook asks, how does Ginny ground Harry after Voldemort's demise? That is a good question. That's interesting to think about, because you don't really think beyond, because the series ends before you know what happens. Now that Harry Potter and the Cursed Child has come out, we kind of get a glimpse into Harry and the gang's future. But I'm not going to tell you what I know based on that book. I'm just going to tell you what my personal thought was before ever reading that. Because Harry has a tendency to get very dark and down on himself, himself. I feel like Ginny would be that person who kept him in a good headspace. She would be the one to add a joke to a tense moment. She's the one who keeps his head on straight, reminds him what's important. So in my head, that's always how I pictured Ginny grounding Harry. She is his happy place. Well, that's always how I envisioned it anyway. If any of you guys have different opinion, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on all this. At Angel Pine asks, what do you think Ron and Hermione's wedding was like? This is a fun question to think about, and I was very excited to get asked this question. I think Hermione was a nutcase. I think she had everything planned out, and then I'm pretty sure nothing went according to plan. I think she's probably losing her mind, going over all these details. Well, did the florist come? Oh, did this guest show up? They brought who? We don't have seating for this! And she's just gonna be that crazy, not bridezilla in the sense that she's mean to everybody, but just trying to think of all the details on her wedding day when she really should just be taking a step back, taking a deep breath, and enjoying the moment. Ron, I feel like he's probably getting a little tipsy somewhere. He's off in a corner getting a little drunk. I'm pretty sure he's taken a nip or two from some kind of flask and being very cool, calm, and collected right up until the point where he has to walk down the aisle to wait for the bride. At that point, he might have had a little bit of a freak out moment and been like, guys, I don't think I can do this. I can't do it. I forgot something I have to do. Something stupid. And then Harry and all the others would be like, come on, you got this. All the Weasley brothers would have to be like, no, Ron, you remember, you love Hermione, you want to be here, that kind of thing. There's definitely a very funny dialogue scene happening there, and I really wish J.K. Rowling would write it. J.K. Rowling, if you ever happen to watch this, please, please, please write that, just for our amusement. The end. Alright guys, that's it. That's all the questions we have. I hope you enjoyed this little questionnaire. It was fun for me. I love being able to share my interests with you and admit to you that I am a diehard Harry Potter fan. Raise your wands if you agree. Little fun fact, I have an ebony wand with a phoenix feather inside of it. What kind of wand do you have? If you don't know, go to Pottermore.com right now. I'll leave a link below, and then you guys can comment and tell me what wand you got and what house you were sorted in. Are you a fellow Ravenclaw? Give us a thumbs up if you are, and give it a thumbs up even if you're not. I will see you next time. Love you guys. Mwah!